I'm here with the co-chair of the UNESCO sub-regional meeting, which will be held in Nevis on May 15th and 16th, Dr. Leighton Narain. Talk to us about, last time we spoke about the meeting, what it will entail, what are some of the things that will be discussed. How close are we? What are the latest updates on that?
Yeah, well, let me first say that we're very proud and excited about hosting this conference in Nevis. It's going to be on the 15th and 16th. We are pretty much in a state of readiness. We have some finishing touches to do, but there's a lot of enthusiasm on a number of members on the Planning and Implementation Committee, which I chair. We are doing this on behalf of course, the National Commission for UNESCO and of Nevis Island Administration. So I work closely with them in organizing to host this conference, but the conference itself is organized by UNESCO, people from Paris headquarters, experts and officials. The participants really is interesting because we will have regional experts. We will have Canary, which is a Caribbean Natural Resources Institute. They're experts in what they do. They take a very social sciences approach, which is excellent. That's what we want. We also have the Carib Safe Partnership. We're presenting an expert report as well on the vulnerabilities and opportunities that we can look at in the face of changing climate and the impact on people and communities. We also have Conrad Douglas and Associates with over 30 years of international experience coming out of Jamaica to experience in environmental policy and planning. So we will be examining these reports and validating them. We will have ministers of government who will be coming from the OECS or generally the Caribbean. We will have our very own ministers in St. Kitts and Nevis participating in this conference, and we will have other regional experts and experts from UNESCO. And so we are very excited about it.
How do you think climate change is being, or the concept of climate change being embraced by people here in St. Kitts Nevis? Do you think that enough is being done to sensitize people on it? One, that people are aware and becoming aware of it. And what are some of the things, the telltale signs that we're seeing now in St. Kitts Nevis that says that indeed we are feeling the effects of climate change?
Yeah. It's really, the science of climate change has been mainly in the domain of the hard sciences, as we say. Climatologists, meteorologists, and scientists in general, environmental experts, and they were hardly ever able to translate that information in terms of people and communities, because ultimately we need to know how it impacts people. And it's the thrust here is to build resilience, and to build resilience really means to prepare people for those changes, and that is why we are doing that now, and it's newly emerging as a social science issue primarily. But we need a knowledge base, we need the science. But when we get the science, how do we make that accessible and interpret that in a way that we can come up with adaptation strategies so that we can protect property, lives, and livelihoods? Because if people don't have a really good livelihood and they're not educated enough about it, they're impacted more. And the most vulnerable really are children, women, and those living in, I would say, poverty, which is of course relative, but those are the most vulnerable. In addition to that, the Caribbean islands, islands in the Caribbean and the South Pacific, generally SIDS, small islands in developing states, as we call them, SIDS, are the most vulnerable in the world to the impacts of climate change, given that we have many coastal, low-lying coastal communities, and many other factors in terms of the biodiversity and a number of other things, but also because of the small size of our economies. That is what is important, because one major event, adverse event as a result of climate change can have a ripple effect through our economy, not only in terms of income, GDP, but even things like national security. Who would think so? National security, because we have to be protected in a number of ways and to reduce risk. So if there were a big flood or a drought, for whatever reason, there are shortages, there tends to be difficulties in society and problems thereof.